Up first, we have the Aberdeen Pig Farm, which is a pig farm located along the northern border of the state of Lemoyne. When you first approach this seemingly inconspicuous house, you'll be greeted by Bray Aberdeen. While talking, Bray's sister Tammy Aberdeen, who he's in a relationship with, will eventually come out as well. Both of them will invite you to join them for dinner.
Ain't this a rare treat? Why didn't you tell me we had guests coming? I'd have fixed myself up nice.
Oh, now you know you look perfect, princess.
I ain't no guest, miss. I'm just passing through.
Oh, nonsense. Well, come on in. Rest a while. Now, we got food on the stove and a bottle of the good stuff we've been saving.
It's decided then. I'm gonna go freshen up.
While waiting for dinner to start, you can explore the house. Upstairs, you'll find a portrait of their parents. Upon close inspection, you'll see that the father's eyes have been scratched out. Eventually, dinner will start, and this is where things start to get pretty weird.
Here we are, all the fixings. I hope you boys left some room in your trousers.
That smells delicious. Food don't smell too bad neither.
Oh, stop it, you! How do you like it?
It's good. Different.
That meat is so tender. You know what? This place used to be a pig farm when we was kids. Before we lost our ma and pa. Horrible business.
Horrible.
We still got each other, ain't that right, honey pie?
And we still know how to have the hog killing time.
There, that's for you.
Yeah.
There.
Where are my manners? Drinks.
Eventually, you'll be offered 3 drinks. After the 3rd drink, you'll pass out.
Oh, about time.
When you wake up, you'll be in a pit full of dead bodies.
Those crazy sons of bitches got some explaining to do.
After you wake up, you are free to deal with the Aberdeens as you please.
You ain't.
The Aberdeens appear to be based on the real-life Bender family, who were nicknamed the Bloody Benders. The family operated an inn for travelers in Kansas, where they murdered at least 11 people in the early 1870s, with some estimates putting the death count at up to 20. The people they killed were looted and buried in a mass grave. And the final fate of the Bender family is unknown to this day. Located deep in the wilderness of the East Grizzlies, you will find a small structure known as the Witch's Hut. Within the structure, you'll find a cauldron filled with an unknown liquid that the player can drink. If you decide to drink this mysterious liquid, you will pass out, and you'll wake up with all of your cores being fully restored. You can also find a perched 3-star raven that will constantly look at the player. If you pick up any items inside of the shack, the raven will crow at you. This is likely a reference to the concept of a witch's familiar, a demon or spirit which takes the shape of an animal to serve a witch's will or give them advice. The witch's house can be found on the far northwest edge of West Elizabeth, which is kind of strange because you think the witch's house would be near the witch's hut, but they are in fact very far away from each other. Within the house resides a hermit woman who is believed to be a witch. When you approach the woman's house, she will threaten to kill you if you don't leave.
Hey, get off my property or I'll send my dogs on you! You hear me?
Stay there!
Eventually, she'll send her dogs after you and shoot at you with a double-barrel shotgun, which I gotta say, I don't know of many witches that carry around shotguns.
Get off my land!
After this encounter, Arthur will write in his notes that he thinks he encountered a witch. In order to find the vampire, you must first find 5 pieces of mysterious writing that are hidden throughout Saint Denis. After you've found all 5 pieces, you'll draw a map in your journal. And if you follow this map, you'll find the vampire feeding upon a body in an alley.
So, you found me.
Hey, what are you doing?
Stay back for your own sake. I walk with the undead.
What, you're a vampire?
I have been called many names over the centuries. Now go, or I'll feed on you too.
You're no more vampire than I am.
I'll suck you dry.
Look at you, you're a joke.
Oh yeah, by the way, he can one-shot you with his dagger no matter what you're wearing or what your stats are, so keep a lookout for that. This grisly site can be found west of Strawberry on the edge of the map. This location is known as the Pagan Ritual. It was likely committed by the Night Folk, as the Night Folk use the same sigils and are known for committing violent acts. It's unknown what the corpse is supposed to be, but it appears to represent some dark entity or deity. Fun fact, you can take the skull off of the corpse and wear it as a mask. If you do take the skull off of the corpse and you return at a later date, you'll find that the corpse is gone. The ghost of Agnes Dowd can be found in Bluewater Marsh, specifically around the B and the L on the map. In order for her to spawn, you must go to this location between 9 PM and 3 AM during foggy weather. In the first couple of encounters, you'll only be able to hear her voice.
Come back to me. Come back to me. Come home.
After that, she'll take her spectral form, and if you get too close to her, she'll disappear. In total, she can be encountered 16 times. During each encounter, she'll tell you bits of her life story and explain what happened to her. Her story goes that she fell in love with a man that her parents did not approve of. So they would meet in secret by an old tree in Bluewater Marsh. Eventually, Agnes became pregnant. This caused the man to abandon her for another woman, exposing her relationship to her family much to their disgrace, and leaving her unwanted by other male suitors.
She never loved you. She never did.
Although Agnes was eventually able to convince her lover to come back to her, she was unable to convince her mother and father that he was worthy of her. This led to her father shooting and killing her lover. After this event, Agnes would eventually have a mental breakdown. She then murdered her father for revenge. It's also hinted that she murdered the rest of her family. Finally, she hung herself from the tree where she and her lover used to meet in secret.
Mother, you can be so unkind. So very unkind. It ain't like that. It ain't like that at all.
The Bolger Glade can be found east of the Braithwaite Manor. It is the site of a battle that occurred during the Civil War. If you come to the location at night while it's storming, you can hear sounds of battle and dialogue that reveal what happened at this location.
Harris, major request and an answer, sir.
The voices tell the story of Confederate General Quincy T. Harris. It's revealed that General Harris forced his men to fight a losing battle while he secretly escaped and saved himself. If you head to this location on the map at around 3 a.m., a ghost train will spawn. Once it spawns, it will travel down the tracks for a bit and then eventually disappear. Although a lot of different sources say that you can get this train to spawn at any time during the game, I could only get it to spawn in Chapter 6 and beyond. Also, keep in mind that this encounter can only be found once, so once you see the ghost train one time, you will never see it again in that playthrough. The UFO Cult House, also known as Hanny's Bethel, can be found northeast of Heartland Overflow. From the outside, the building appears abandoned and of little interest. However, when you step inside, you'll find beds filled with dead bodies. At the other end of the room, you'll find a table with a piece of paper labeled Mysterious Sermon. The sermon hints for you to return at 2 a.m. If you do, you'll find a UFO hovering above the building. This tells us that these people were a part of some sort of cult, and they all killed themselves in unison. The sermon also hints for you to go to the peak of Mount Shann. Mount Shann is a mountain that can be found northwest of Strawberry. If you go to the top of the mountain at around 2 a.m., a UFO will appear floating in the air. After a short while, it will ascend into the sky and vanish. This Easter egg is very similar to the Mount Chiliad UFO Easter egg in GTA 5. The frozen settler can be found atop Mount Hagen. This man appears to be dressed in the classic Spanish conquistador outfit. How this man ended up frozen on top of a mountain remains a mystery. Fun fact, you can take the helmet off the corpse and wear it. The Meteor House is a small cabin on a cliff that overlooks the Roanoke Valley. Outside, the cabin appears to be very normal. The inside, however, tells a different story. If you enter the cabin, you will find that a meteorite has crashed through the roof of the cabin while the residents were eating a meal, leaving behind a grisly scene. If you head a bit west of the Meteor House, you will find a much larger impact crater with a much larger meteorite at its center. What's strange is that no one appears to have laid claim to the meteorite despite a newspaper article announcing it. This meteorite is likely a reference to the Tunguska event. The Tunguska event refers to a large meteor that exploded over Russia, causing devastating amounts of damage. Located west of the Little Creek River, a cave can be found at the top of a winding trail. Once inside of the cave, it will eventually split into two paths. If you head down the left path, you'll find a large pit. If you head down the right path, you'll find a cave hermit that claims to be the devil.
Why don't you turn around and go back to the light? There are nasty things and nasty people down here, and I don't mean you. I'm the devil. I'm the devil. I'm the devil! Okay, I'm not the devil, but I want to be. I want to be. And that's even worse. I'm a nasty man. Go away. I don't want you here. Is that so bad? Wanting solitude? Wanting loneliness? Wanting anything but you? Go away.
The Man-Made Mutant can be found inside of an abandoned mansion west of Van Horn. In order to get inside of the mansion, you must climb onto a ledge and through a window. Once inside, you'll find many different oddities, including a creature that is composed of sewn together animal parts. Fun fact, within the game files, a fully functioning pet model can be found of the creature. This indicates that at one point, this creature was meant to come alive in the game. Pleasance is an abandoned settlement west of Bluewater Marsh. Despite its name, it appears that many unpleasant events have occurred at this location. You see, the town of Pleasance was founded in August 1883 and was abandoned 1 month later due to a brutal massacre that claimed the lives of 10 residents. All of the victims were found shot and stabbed in a violent manner, and it is unknown who is responsible for the massacre or what their motives were. There is also evidence that Pleasance was struck by a plague due to the fact that some buildings are boarded up with the words "Stay Out Plague" being written on them. It also appears that the Pleasance schoolhouse caught on fire at one point and a large tree fell on it. The town church is also missing its cross. It is unknown whether or not this has anything to do with the many mishaps in the town. Another odd detail that can be found is a large dead snake in a tree south of the town. The town may be a reference to Helltown in Summit County, Ohio. Helltown refers to a small town that was supposedly abandoned in the 1980s due to chemical spills in the area. It is rumored that these chemicals mutated and deformed animals. One of these rumored animals is a giant mutated snake. The giant skeleton can be found on Mount Shann. Almost nothing is known about the mysterious remains. However, an ox skull can be found next to the skeleton. This likely means this point of interest is a reference to Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. South of Armadillo, on an abandoned farm, you can find the remains of a donkey lady. It is unclear whether this was a creature that had a human body and a donkey's head, or if someone just placed a donkey's skull on a human skeleton. Based on the character's reaction to the scene, it appears that this was some sort of half-human, half-donkey creature that was forced into labor. Sonny's cabin can be found north of Saint Denis. When you first meet Sonny, he'll be kind and welcoming in a sort of weird, creepy way.
What you doing here? You looking for a friend? I'll be your friend, if you let me.
Eventually, he'll invite you inside, and this is where things get downright disturbing.
Okay. So, you hungry, huh? I got food. I got food inside. Come along. Now come here. Don't you hate old Sonny now? Don't hate him. What? Oh, you struggled. And you lost. But it was quite a tussle, I tell you. Quite a tussle, my pet. See? Friendship ain't so tough. And neither is you.
You'll eventually wake up near the cabin.
Oh my lord.
If you go back, Sonny will get scared and lock himself in his house. From here, you are free to deal with him as you please.
Not you again.
I'ma put a big old hole in you!
I don't. I wouldn't hurt a fly, mister. Honest.
Osman Grove is a small cabin that can be found east of Emerald Station. If you go inside the cabin, you'll find the corpses of a small family, 2 grandparents, 2 parents, and 1 small child. If you look around, you see that this horrifying scene was caused by the furnace breaking and releasing smoke into the cabin, causing the family to suffocate to death. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe button, and I will see you wonderful people in the next video.